This one, yeah. So as you can tell from the title, you want a godly woman. Basically, this is to the males. The females can watch this as well. But gents, but let's not go down around. Like, let's just be straight with each other, right? Okay. First of all, if you really want a godly woman, first make sure you're a godly man. The reason why I'm saying that is because you cannot handle what you're not. You cannot handle what you're not prepared for. You cannot handle what you're not mature enough for. We're getting straight into it. So, first of all, you need to be a godly man. What does a godly man look like? You need to be able to have a prayer life, a prayer routine, a prayer tradition. You need to have a relationship with God. Because what happens is if a godly woman comes in your life, now I'm not talking about a Christian girl, I'm talking about a godly woman. A woman who fights her battles on her knees, a woman who actually knows her worth, a woman who knows that she's not going to have sex before marriage, or she's keeping herself for marriage, or she's, celibate. Whatever that is, she has boundaries, in other words. In other words, if you don't have boundaries as well, it's gonna clash. You need to be a godly man. You need to know your purpose. For a woman to submit to you, submission has got nothing to do with dominance. Gents, submission's got everything to do with submitting to the mission that God has given you. So how is she going to submit to a man with no mission? So you need to be able to be a godly man. You need to be able to not only provide physical needs or provide emotional or mental needs, but you also need to provide spiritual needs. Praying with her. You need to be a person that is able to fast. You need to be a person that actually knows God. So, getting straight into it, if you want a godly woman, make sure you can handle her. I'm not talking about physically, I'm talking about who she is and what she's able to do. Because a godly woman, you realize that she, as I said before, she has a lot of boundaries. She knows what she wants. She knows who she wants. She knows where she gets her worth from. She knows who she is. So you cannot tell her who she's supposed to be. Okay, so you need to be able to handle a woman, a godly woman who knows that she was made by Christ, that she is not going to put up with foolish act. That's just how it is. The second point probably be, don't ask for things you're not willing to take care of. Because it's very fun and it's very important for, it's fun to say you have a godly woman. Yeah, great. But are you able to sustain the relationship? Are you actually able to take care of the relationship and her? Are you able to actually do what you're supposed to do? Not what the world is telling you to do, but what God is telling you to do. The funny thing is, when you get a godly woman, she is going to be led by God and not by the world. Now, this is going to scuff some people's terms, but a godly woman really doesn't listen to these worldly things. She's not a baddie. She's not a godly woman is not a baddie. She doesn't listen to WAP, if you know what I'm talking about. She's not all about that. She's really about her business and God, and she knows who she is, and she is not lukewarm. Probably a video for another day. So either way, you also need to be a person who's not swayed by the world. You don't need to be a person who has a high body count. Now, when we talk about body counts with males, it seems like the higher your body count, the more manly you are. That's a lie. A real man actually has self-control. And I'm not saying this because I'm perfect, but I'm saying this because I practice this. I say this because I read about it, and I've asked God continuously to make me the person that I am now. So what I'm saying is a godly man is a man with self-control. Not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, hormonally. That's not a word, but it is now. And you need to be able to control yourself and allow God to control you. So when you get a godly woman, make sure you're able to take care of her. Because sometimes taking care of her does not necessarily mean that you are providing something. Sometimes it means that you're not providing something. Different video. Third thing would be, don't ask for things you're not mature enough for. I said this before, that when you're not mature enough for a godly woman, it will seem like she's intimidating, she's bossy, she doesn't, she's always talking to you, or she, it's intimidating when you actually meet a woman who actually knows what she wants and you don't. So what I'm saying is, make sure you're mature enough. And how do you become mature? Read your word, ask God for guidance, grow, read, have knowledge, because things in the Bible, it does talk about how my people perish because of lack of knowledge. If she knows who she is, she has knowledge of who she is and what God says about her, she's not gonna perish. My boy, she's gonna find another man and leave you on the curb. Not gonna lie. But when you don't know who you are as well, when you don't know how you're supposed to treat her, when you don't have knowledge of how you're supposed to treat her and how you're supposed to be acting as a man from God and as a manly, from a manly standpoint, you're gonna perish. Facts. Just straight facts. It's there. It is what it is. And then the fourth thing would be, don't pursue her if you're not ready. Thing is, don't pursue any woman or any girl. I'm gonna make a video for the girls, but don't pursue anyone. Don't pursue her if you're not ready. Thing is, because sometimes like girls are in a point or in a place where they have been hurt, maybe by their dad, or like they're going through something, or they went through something, and now they've completely healed, and there you are, you're just coming there, you're just there just to rehearse and then to repeat the same thing. No, don't do that. Make sure you are ready for her. Don't pursue her if you're not ready for her. There's no, just because you feel the urge to actually pursue her doesn't mean that it's urgent. The urge should not always be urgent. Just because you feel it doesn't mean that you should take action on it. So if you want a godly woman, those are some few tips, I guess. But one thing that I do need to touch on is, I think I'll make another video about purity and how to stay a virgin as a man, or like, it's not even a touchy topic. It is what it is. But as a man, and if you're watching this, I think it's very important for you to understand that when you're a Christian guy, when you're a Christian man, or a godly man, you need to save yourself as well. It's not fair enough. It's not even fair for you to want something that you're not. It's not fair enough for you to want a woman who's a virgin when you're not, or when you are practicing so many sinful things and you want her not to. And I'm not saying if you're a sinner and she's a sinner and like, no. What I'm saying is, make sure you're practicing and keeping the standard that you also want her to have. I find a lot of men, a lot of guys that say, I want her to be a virgin, and I ask, are you a virgin? He's like, no, I actually just slept with Becky. Yes, I'm like, oh, okay. So it doesn't make sense for you to actually want someone who's a virgin when you are not, or when you are doing things repeatedly in sin and you know that you're not supposed to. Don't hold women to standards that you can't keep. It's immature. It is very immature. And I think the higher your body count, the way the world makes it seem, the higher your body count doesn't mean that you're more manly. It just kind of actually seems and shows how boyish you are. Because a true man knows that he has self-control, that everyone has the urge, but it's not urgent. And if you really want a godly woman, you work for her. She's really not going to be loose. I'm not talking about sexually. I'm talking about just who she is. She's all about her business. I'm not saying she's easy to get, but neither am I saying she's too hard to get to the point where you have to jump on a plane and ask her. If you do that and see it. But she's a woman that makes you work. Because it says in the Bible that he who finds a wife finds a good thing. Understanding as well that a wife is, for the girls, you don't become a wife because you got a white dress, or because you got married, or because you said I do. Being a wife is a process, is a journey. You learn how to be a wife. you learn how to be the woman that God wants you to be as well. So as well, understanding that if you want a godly woman, understand that she is going to have her own path. She might be different. She might be going through certain things as well. And just because she's godly doesn't mean that she's perfect. Just understand and give grace to women and the girl that you might want to be with, that she doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure that you are prepared for what you are pursuing. Because if you're not, like you are literally just messing it up for everyone else. But no, I just wanted to make this video. I know some of the things that I said might be touchy, but it is what it is. Just always be a man of God. Do what God wants you to do. Be a person who is submitted to God's mission. She's not going to submit to you when you don't have a mission. That's